This is Archero. I'm going to give you guys a preview of my X picks. I'm going to start with Arcona. That is one of my favorite bands of all time. Uh, for a while I was able to say I'd seen them every single time they'd come to the United States, but I finally broke that streak a couple years ago. In any case, their song Zaquiati, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, that's probably my favorite song of theirs, so I'll put that one on. The next song is from Abstrusa Undi. I heard this band a long time ago, and just a little off, kind of avant-garde sort of band, and I actually ordered their album directly from them. And it was funny reading, they sent me a letter back thanking me for buying their album, and they referred to themselves as something like death, progressive, black, power, how's your mom metal. So that kind of gives you an idea how different their music is. Next I've got Ancient Bards. Soulless Child's probably my favorite song from them. It might even be the first song by them I've heard. Really like the vocals. I really like the epic symphony and all that's added to it. That's probably going to be a theme of this list, as you're going to see that I'm really into the epic and orchestral stuff being added into the metal I listen to. Next you got Blind Guardian, Curse of Feanor. Probably could have picked anything off of Nightfall and Middle Earth. I really like that song, though. Of course, I'm a big Tolkien fan. I love the Silmarillion, and Feanor is kind of a character you love to hate. And this is right after the Kinslaying, if you're familiar with that book. Next, I've got Karak Angren. The Shining was a portent of gloom. Main thing I like about this song is the outro. Just really, really good orchestral stuff that's going on. I like all of their music, but the outro of this song, I would put it right up there with Deliverance by Opeth for how much I enjoy it. Demons and Wizards, Crimson King. Band that they have not listened to yet and need to for sure. Crimson King is a character from the Dark Tower series, which for me is the second best series of all time, right after Lord of the Rings. I love the Dark Tower, and I love that there's several songs devoted to that series by Demons and Wizards. Okay, Enslaved, Ethico Dini. Most people have probably heard this song. Probably my favorite Enslaved song. Progressive black metal. Thumbs up for sure for me. Next we got Epica Sanctiterra, and this is the live version with Floor Jansen joining along. Figured at some point, they've got to listen to this duo. A couple of just excellent singers, a couple of great bands. Love Epica, love Floor. Can't go wrong. Equilibrium, a folk metal band I'll spend a little time listening to. Not necessarily one of my favorites, but I don't know. This one's, it's weird because it's just so darn catchy and even uplifting, I would say. It's kind of a strange sound for this one. It's always stood out as unique to me, so I like this one. Okay, Moonlight Sonata by Ex Mortis. Of course, this is a cover of Mozart, and I saw this band live. I am from San Angelo, Texas, which is a pretty small town in West Texas, and Ex Mortis actually came to San Angelo and played. And it had to be disappointing, a very Spinal Tap moment for them, because you look around, they're playing in this little bar for about 20 people. And I'm sitting there like, man, these guys went out of their way to come to a tiny little town where they're barely appreciated. But I sure liked seeing them, and when they played this song, of course I knew the classical track. I'd never heard them play it before. It just blew me away listening to a metal version of this. So enjoy. Hollenthon is a band that I don't hear very many people talking about, and it's one that I would count among my favorites. Sort of a folk / death band with lots of orchestral stuff. The song Son of Perdition, I could have picked a handful of songs from them. This is one I like a lot, though. Nile is easily, hands down, my favorite death metal band, and Lashed to the Slave Stick is probably my favorite song of theirs. If you look at my iTunes, you'll see that is the song that gets played the most of everything I listen to, so I had to put that on here. November's Doom. I only recently discovered that doom metal is not one of the genres that Extreme Underground has, which I thought I darn well better get some doom in while I can. I love this band. I love doom metal in general. Eulogy for the Living Lost is pretty good from them. Okay, next we got the Lord Weird Slough Feg, and I want to give a special shout out to Dana here for giving me a hand. I am not the greatest about figuring out how to upload videos and all this stuff. This is all first time territory for me. So he gave me a couple pointers and a YouTube video to look at to help me get the right software and figure out what to do. So, well, this is actually 3 songs off their album Down Among the Deadmen. If you listen to the album, they flow together like a single song. So I wanted to put all these 3 together. Real good band. Not one I don't think I've seen anybody at all react to them, and that's a little bit of a kind of a throwback, new wave British heavy metal style. I like them a lot, and I think this is a pretty good set of songs from them. Okay, Sear Bliss. This band is great to me because I am a trombone player, and this band actually features a live trombonist, and I actually got a video that has the trombone player actually on the video. As much as I like symphonic black metal, for instance, that's not what this band is. They don't have just a full orchestra. They don't have violins. They just feature the trombone and occasionally a trumpet. So a lot of love for them. I've got a huge bias for them, obviously. Slechtvalk is it's actually a Christian band. Play sort of folk black metal. You wouldn't actually know they were Christian by reading their lyrics, I think, most of the time. They tend to talk about war and fantasy, that kind of topic, but the band's members happen to be Christians. So it's pretty good band, pretty good song. What do we have next? Okay, Solitude Eternus. As I mentioned, I'm from Texas, and this is an old Texas band. Sadly, haven't been around for quite some time, but excellent doom metal. And of course, Rob Lowe eventually went on to sing for Candlemass, but this is his initial claim to fame was Solitude Eternus. I think that they are the best Texas metal band, although obviously you can't live here and not love some Pantera, and shout out to Absu too, but this is the one for me. Okay, Tear, also just one of my favorite bands. This might be the first song from them I ever heard. This is just a band that when I go to the grocery store, chances are it's Tear that I put in and listen to. I don't get tired of listening to them. And this song in particular is one that I actually sing to my boys at bedtime a lot. So I have fun with this one, and my 4-year-old likes to listen to it and ask me what it's talking about. Okay, Warlock, Touch of Evil. Okay, I picked this song because this is one of the greatest vocal performances I've ever heard. When Doro gets to the last minute and a half of the song, she just goes unleashed, and it's indescribable. And I always talk about when I hear this, it's like she is dancing on the thin edge of losing control, but she doesn't lose control. She's doing what she needs to do, but it sounds so crazy, so forceful. It's like any moment now she might just turn into a werewolf and go nuts, but she doesn't do it. So just amazing vocals in this one to me. And finally, I wanted to pick just another kind of weird one, Transcending Bizarre, sort of another avant-garde kind of metal band. A lot of symphonic stuff, some death metal elements too. They're just kind of a strange band, and I like something different. So that's what this is. Anyway, I hope you guys will enjoy my picks, and look forward to seeing which ones stand out to you guys. Thanks. Addendum by Archero. I said that Moonlight Sonata was a Mozart cover, and that's actually Beethoven, so I wanted to correct that. Anyway, still a great song, and I hope you guys will enjoy it.